All right, we're just going to test the audio here. All right, we're just going to test the audio here. Just going to test the audio for a second, see if it's working all right. Just going to test the audio for a second. All right. Hopefully today my audio is a little better. I am only going to be streaming to YouTube today because I'm not sure what my problems are with my audio, but I figured one less step in process can't hurt. So we'll try that instead. All right, today we've built out most of the structure from yesterday. Today is basically the finishing day. Okay, I've got some power cells there. Let me just sleep through the night here. So today, I think we're just going to do a little bit of testing with the balloons. Offline yesterday, I went through and I just redistributed the balloons. I didn't really change the number of balloons. I just went around the entire structure, counted all the balloons, and then just made sure that they were evenly placed all around. Before, I was just kind of randomly placing them around the entire structure as we went, just to give it some more lift. And it was working. It's working fine, but I just wanted to make sure everything was uniform and symmetrical. That way, I wouldn't have some areas with more lift and other areas with less lift. So I basically just relayed that out. I'm going to do a little bit of testing. I tested it yesterday, and it's still, it'll move with the tires, but it's still a little laggy. I think a little bit more lift will help. So that's looking good. And then what we'll do is, after I've had the balloons on and we've tested it a few times, I'll break away some of the scaffolding, and maybe we'll do a courageous 360-degree rotation of the entire build and see if we can get it to go all the way around, which we should. There shouldn't be any issues with that. If it turns, it should turn all right. I'll just have to break off my safety barriers because they'll now obviously run into the antennas and everything else, and I don't want it running into the antennas. So we'll test that, and then if that's working out all right, then the next thing we'll do is break away all this extra. No, I'll leave the scaffolding. I want to cover this up. So you can see I slapped a couple pieces on there yesterday offline just to extend out the base that's covering the balloons, and then I want to stick a wall, half wall on this inside, similar to what we have on the outside, which will help me remove or at least block out some of this. I mean, there's still going to be a bunch because I have to leave a gap. If this dynamic rotating disc touches, then all the wheels and the balloons pop off, and that's not good. So there needs to be a bit of a gap in between the two. So first things first, let's just get a test wheel only first without the rockets. We'll see if we can. It's starting to turn. Okay, so it is turning. Okay, so let's climb up top. Let's break off the ones that are here and see if we can turn it all the way. I think I can leave the first one in place. I don't think it's going to interfere or anything. And we'll see if we can do a turn with the motors, although I think I'm going to fill them up. I brought some extra power cells today. We'll fill it up with power cells. I'm curious how much power it's going to use to go all the way around. I think quite a lot. This one, oh, I had a lot on this one. This is going to be in the way for sure. Let's get rid of that one. Stick another. It's on top there. Make it across without destroying anything. Let's see if it's a little laggy, then I'll go around and I'll add one balloon to every quadrant of the 4 quarters of it. Okay. Get enough off it, those should not interfere anymore. I feel like I'm going to fall to my death. Hey, Flash in the Pan, how are you? Thank you. All right, let's see if we can get it to rotate all the way around. It might be a little too slow for my liking, so I might have to speed it up by adding balloons. Yeah, like there it got stuck even. Yeah, I think it's still a little too heavy. Okay, I'm just going to turn it back where it was. We'll go around, we'll add a few more balloons to it. I don't want it to go fast, but I don't want it to go that slow. All right. Let's get some materials for balloons and such. Actually, I better just load up with a bunch of materials anyways. I never know what I'm going to want to do. I might want to add something or stick something on there. So I'm running really low on sandstone. Huh? I don't think I need too much more. Okay, I'll just take a couple more things. Okay, let's add a few more balloons and try it again. Okay, so I tried to space it out so there's like, I've got 30 of these 60 sets where there's wheels and thrusters, and I basically got them going 5 balloons here, 6 balloons, 5 balloons, 6 balloons. I'm a little limited with the large thrusters are, but I think right now, I'm just gonna make a small change here. 5 balloons here, I'm gonna make 6 balloons on this one. Add 1 balloon there, that's a 6, a 5, a 6. Let's go over to the next set here. Got a couple. That's the big one. Yeah, let's it's a 6. Let's add another balloon onto this one here. I want to be really careful. I can't go too fast at this point, or it will start to float away on me, and I do not want it to float away on me. Add another one there. And one more, and then we'll test again. Right there. Okay, let's give it a quick test and see how that looks, and then maybe I run around, add another. I just lagged out. All right. It's not moving at all. Maybe I need to check and see if I have power. That's a good idea as well. I may have run down all my power cells. Yes, that's exactly it. This thing uses up power like crazy. I've got 68 wheels. And I don't know how the power works, but I'm fairly confident that it is based off of the number of wheels. Each wheel draws a certain amount of power. So we got it rotating again. It's rotating quite nicely, huh? Or it was. I use some thrusters. I think it's probably going fast enough with thrusters. We'll go 1/4 of the way around and we'll see what it... Yeah, so it's definitely not moving with the wheels alone. It does move with the thrusters and it's not flying away. I think I'll move it around 1/4 of the way and then I will go add another balloon to it. I think my seat spire here is going to be in the way as well. I have to stick my seat up on the top. Yeah, so it's super slow. I want it to be, it's going good. It's doing what I want it to do, but it is incredibly slow. So I think I'm going to want to add a few more balloons to it. Curious how many power cells is going to burn up just doing this quarter turn. Yeah, the seat is definitely going to be in the way, so I'm going to have to break that and replace it. And yeah, plus it's also going to help because I'm going to fall to my death right now. No. All right. Let's reposition the seat into a better spot. I did hear the power cells beep, so I'm assuming that I've already ran them down. Sleep for the night. Anything else right now? Let's put the seat here. All right. Let's get it around the rest of the way. So it's 1/4 of the way around, and then once I get it 1/4 way around, I'll go check and see how much power it actually do. I saw something damaged over there. I didn't see anything fall off, though. I just saw some damage numbers pop up. Yeah, still a little too heavy. Definitely too heavy. Okay, that's about 1/4 of the way. All right, so 1/4 of the way around. Let's see how much power cells I used. Probably way too many. Oh yeah, look at that. Just to go 1/4 of the way around, it used up 2.5 power cells. That's probably got to do a lot with the weight as well. So let's add a few more balloons. All right, so I got 6 there, 6 there. Let's put another one here. Another one there. I'm just basically going a quarter turn, adding one balloon in the first free spot that doesn't have 6 already. There's one. And one more. Let's go grab a couple more power cells. I think I underestimated how many power cells I'm going to need, and I'm probably going to have to go get a few more. Actually, never mind. I can do that. Okay, we'll just do a quick test with the tires and see how it turns with tires only. It seems to be turning a little bit better with tires only. It gets stuck right there. Oh, no, it's still going. It's still going. Slowly, though. Let's go the other way. Okay, I'm gonna add another balloon as well. Still a little heavy. There we go. Just replace this one to a different spot. One. There we go. This one here. 2. Third one. And fourth one, and then we'll test again. All right. So now I have 8 balloons, so I'm up to 140 balloons now. Oh, sorry, 340 balloons. Still turning all right. Seems to be going even better now. It's a bit of a blockage there. It's still going. But it's not showing any sign of lifting up, which is what I'm most concerned about. Definitely don't want it to lift up. I'm gonna add one more balloon. Actually, let's go. Where's the main thruster? 6. 5, 6. Actually, I think if I add this balloon, I'll have 6 on every single one of them now. Still got lots of room to add more if I need, but I'm trying to do it in a uniform way that 6 on everything except these ones here. I can only get 5 around the big thrusters. Lagged out. There. Right. Got, test it again there. It's not moving at all now. Oh, no, it moves this way. Moves to the left. Yeah, already I'm powered on my thrusters, so I think it's going to have to be a rocket turning system because there's no way that I'm not going to be able to produce enough power cells to keep this thing. I think I lagged out here. I'm just doing it with just rockets here now. So no power for powered wheels. All right, so I do need to have the power for the powered wheels or it doesn't turn either. Okay, let's throw some more power in. I already made it a quarter turn, so let's go all the way to the right. I don't think I have enough power cells to get me all the way to the right. Let's do a full, I mean, we've already gotten a quarter of the way. I'll do a full 360 revolution, which means I'm probably going to have to take a trip back to my main base and get a few more power cells. It is not fast. It's not fast, but it's not floating away. Not floating away is the most important part. One power cell already almost gone. So it almost takes 4 power cells to go a quarter turn. I guess I'm going to need a few more power cells and a few more engines to make this thing work. But it is going. We're almost halfway. I guess when I do some footage shots for this, I'm just going to have to do a slow-mo or a time lapse on it. I've made an improvement at least. So this time I only used about 2 power cells to go a quarter turn. I think I'm going to add some more balloons. It's still incredibly heavy. I guess it's used 3 power cells to get. So we're just about to burn all this other one. All right, let me add a few more balloons. Let me sleep first. Add a few more balloons. Let me just test my audio really quick here again too. I get this warning that says I got no bit rate, so I'm wondering if it's absolutely terrible again. I get this warning that says I got no bit rate, so I'm wondering if it's absolutely terrible. Okay, now it seems to be all right. So, I mean, it's not nearly as bad as it was before. All right, let's go add a few more balloons. I'm just going to go carefully add. I'm going to add 8 balloons in total. I'm going to do 2, 1 on each side of the big thruster banks. I'm going to bust that one. That one. There. Two more on. All right, let's try it again. So we've gone 50% way around. I'll try to grab more power banks. I don't think I have too many here though. I think we're going to have to do a power bank run. Yeah, I've got one more. Okay, bear with me. I got to go get some more power cells. I think I got a bunch of fuel down here, so I can get some from this spot. Oh. So I get a few power cells out of here. Just craft those up. I can get 5 out of here. That's enough to get me. That's enough to get me. Hopefully, that'll be enough to get me around the other halfway. We'll see. If not, I got to go back to the main base to grab more power cells. All right. Let's make sure it's not lifting off. It seems to be going faster. It's hard to say, it's so slow. I think it's going faster because we're at about, we're going to use about 1 power cell to go 1/8 of the way around. Seeing all these damage numbers. I mean, I don't see anything falling off. do see a lot of damage numbers. And we're about to run out of fuel. That is it, out of fuel. Okay, let's do two things here. Let's move this, because there's no point in having it down here because I'm going to need it all the time. Let's move it up where my seat is. And we'll refuel it. Where is my launch pad now? I think it's over there. Yeah, so we made it about, one cell made us about a quarter of the way. So yeah, I'm going to need, I mean, it's not like I'm going to be rotating this thing all the time anyways. I'll probably rotate it. I'll shoot some footage. I'll make some sort of a video about it. I'll rotate it then, and then I'll probably never really rotate it much after that. All right, almost 3/4 of the way around. Once we get back to the full 360, we can at least say we've managed to get it 360 degrees all the way around. At that point, I think I'll start to close in the substructure. I really don't want to add more balloons to it, just because I'm worried at some point it will float away. It doesn't take too much to get it to. It's a very fine line between rotating and then floating away. Yeah, so it'll take me 8 power cells roughly to get all the way around. I'm going to need to make a power cell manufacturing facility, I think. Fortunately, the thing that produces the best power cells is bones. There's no easy way to farm bones. You know what? I'm going to stop for a second. I am going to go and add another round of balloons. One more round of balloons, and we'll see how that goes. It doesn't show any signs of lifting off, so I'm somewhat content that it's safe for the moment. But okay, so we get 7 on that one. I'll add 1 to this one as well. Okay, we'll add another one to the second side. That's, this one on this one. That one's got 7. We'll put another one on this one here. Big thruster, that one's got 7, and I will stick another one here. So that one has 7. And we'll stick another one there. That's 2 of them done. We've got 7. We'll stick this one there. There, one last quadrant to do. Okay, so that's so I gotta go count all these again to see how many I have. We should get to around 350 balloons now. Okay, do not fly away on me, please. Still looks all right. Should have enough power cells to get me back to where we started. So glad that the thrusters don't use any fuel, or this would be a nightmare. Still doesn't show any signs of lifting up. Maybe I do add more balloons. I'm just going to keep doing this, and then eventually it's going to fly away, and then I'm going to kick myself for adding more balloons. Those look all right with the lights at night. I think I got enough. Might add a few more lights later on just to give it a bit better glow up. Well, you can't really see it glowing from very far away. The thing is so big already that you get much farther away from this side and you won't see the light on the other side of it even. Almost 360 degrees. This is my starting point here. And we're just going to have just enough power cells to get me there. All right, I think that's it. 360 degrees, all right. We've made one full revolution. And it only took like 12 power cells, maybe? All right. Okay, let me sleep through the night. I'm just going to check and see if I'll be able to add power cells, or I mean balloons later on. I think I'm going to start skirting it in, which means I also need to get more sandstone, which I should have done while I was down here, but I didn't. It's quick enough to get to this village. I have sand. Oh, maybe I don't have that much sandstone down here. Oh, no, I do. I don't use this village much, so I forget where I put all my goodies here. This one, I basically just leveled it up so I could get my level 10 desert village. This is my first attempt at making an actual full built-out village. I got a full built-out grasslands village, pretty much a full built-out shore biome village. I did the big resort for Lego's build off. Can't remember what it was called. I think it was their summer build. And then I still have to do a good frost biome one as well. Oh, just lagged out here. Okay, you can see what I've done already. I've put on some of these bottom plates. Originally, I just put in a 16 by 16 there. I'm now extending it by another 8. So let me just jump off and I'll show you what I mean. So right now, when you look up underneath there, you can see the balloons. When I put that extra 8 in, it kind of covers up the balloons. And Hey, Wounded Paws. Um, you can, yeah, so you can see there very clearly. That's what I want. I want the wider one so that it covers all the balloons. So when you look from the bottom, you don't really see any balloons. And then I'll put a bit of a facade wall on the inside just to hide it a little bit so you don't see the balloons quite as much from here. It's still going to be somewhat visible, but it's not going to be too bad. So I think the first thing I'll do, I'll just go around. It's going to be a little bit tricky because there's a lot of errors for overlaps and such, but um, we'll do the best we can with that without the errors. All right. So let's say I was playing Brick Life because I needed to get the decor, of course. Um, and I did notice that in Brick Life you can place. So I thought if I'm gonna have to play Brick Life, I might as well um, experiment a bit. So I did a couple build outs on a few of the houses I have, and I was actually quite surprised that I was able to place 45s on there. Like you could just like put something here and just turn it, and it would automatically go to a 45, and you could slap it down. I would really like that if they would do that in here as well. That would be brilliant. So yeah, there's going to be these gaps like that one there that I'm not going to be able to do anything with. Let me see if I could slap an 8 on this one. Oh yeah, it does let me, so I can cover them up. Yeah, it'd be brilliant if you could put 45. I know technically with Lego you shouldn't be able to put something on a 45, but it would be nice. Lots of errors there. Let me stick this one on. No, doesn't. I'm not happy with that at all. Yeah, it'd be nice if you had a bit more flexibility that we could. Let's go with. Let me take this one as well, and then let me go to my quick menu. It's easier, so I don't have to constantly go back and forth. Okay, so that one. Don't need any more than I have to. So right there. It's so weird that like it wouldn't allow me to put the 16 by 8, but I put an 8 by 8, and it's no problem at all. And then you watch. I'll put an 8 by 8, and it allows it just fine. No, no, it doesn't. Yeah. Very bizarre. Just wants me to use up my piece count. And that too, where you just rotate it 90 degrees, and all of a sudden it works. Well, now when it lets me. Okay. I don't want to go that way, but I'll put it there. I'll stick that there. Anywhere I can use the larger one and keep my piece count in control, the better. Actually, let me try that again and just rotate it. Nope, doesn't like it. Just stick it there. Doesn't like that one. It's so bizarre. this one for a second. Let's see if I can get that larger one in first. Seems that the 8x8 is more forgiving for some reason. Well, I spoke too soon. Let's move this one over. Breaking what I'm standing on. Is that right where it was? Yeah, I think it was. Nope, we have to get the smaller ones all the way around. I'm definitely not happy with that one. Yeah, look at that. And then you put a smaller one in and it works just fine. There, let's see about there. Doesn't like that one. Okay. Let's get this one as far as I can this way. I think I'll leave out a little gap, the odd. Oh no, I don't want to leave a little gap. Oh, I guess I'm going to have to leave a little gap. Actually, we'll try a 6. It just seems that, no, okay. Little gap will stay. Big ones again. Don't like it. How much gap do I have between these two? Just want to make sure my scaffolding isn't causing me a problem. No, it's not. It's far enough up that it's just thinking maybe it's touching my scaffolding and that's why it's giving it the misalignment errors. That is not the case. That's a good streak of larger ones. Oh, man. It's like 4 in a row, 5 in a row. Oh, let's go fill in that one little gap here. Oh, I don't want it there. Wrong one. I want it off of this one. Can I move this over more? No, it doesn't like that at all. Let me just go sleep for the night here. Get the daylight again. Have some coffee. Oh, that was the end of my streak of big ones at least. Oh, no, sorry, I was lagged out there. So. Oh, I can look at that. Hey, Claire Bear, how are you? Welcome back again. I think you're the most consistent viewer for this project. Come on, why don't you stick there? All right, let's go with a smaller one then. Let's see if that'll stick in place. I'll try a 8. Okay. I'll have to, well, let me see. Maybe I can get the, no, it doesn't like that either. All right, there will be a small gap. Oh, look at that. I can put a 6 in. Good enough. You watch. I'm gonna get it. I'm gonna get almost all the way around, and then I'm gonna get my bill there. Like that one. Just go and see where I can fit a few of these in first. Anywhere I can use a bigger one, the better. Doesn't like it there. Oh, there's one there. Yeah, I think I'll do this first. I'll run around and see where I can put any big ones in, and then I'll come back and fill in gaps with small ones. I wish I would just get rid of this error. Objects must be aligned. I mean, if they're like blatantly overlapping, okay, I understand. But I mean, when they're literally just touching each other. Hey, thanks, Clever. Yeah, I mean, today it should be pretty much completely done. I mean, I don't, I'm not, today's got a bit of a cutoff time because there is the updates today as well. I usually done before that time anyways, but um, once I've got this last little bit here, the intention is to I'll put the floor plates in I'm doing now. I'll put in an interior buffer wall, and then after the buffer wall, then I'm just going to start ripping the scaffolding down. It will be done. I don't know if you caught it already. We did a full 360 rotation this morning of the build. My morning, I guess it's a lot of people's evenings, but let's go in. We're back to the start. Okay, let me just head back over to where we were. Now I'll just fill in with, looks like as many big pieces as I can get in are now in. Now I'll just fill in with the smaller pieces. Oh, that's not the one I wanted. No wonder it didn't fit. No, it doesn't want to fit either. No, it doesn't want to fit. That, and then this one probably won't fit. Let's try the 6. And actually, hold on a second here. I didn't want it to stick to anything. I didn't want it to be, yeah, we just cover up with that one. happy, not happy. That works. Let me just test this one out. I'm going to put it up here and see if that will make a difference. Small gap there. It is using a lot of pieces, but I think in the end it's going to look all right from the bottom. We'll leave that little tiny. I hate these little gaps. Anyway, I'm going to have to come back and bust a bunch of these for the amount of pieces I'm using, but no, that gap is going to have to stay. There, perfect. Doesn't like that. Go with the smaller ones. And a small gap there as well. Get rid of that pickaxe so I don't accidentally pickaxe something. Small one. Doesn't like it. There we go. All right, a quarter more left to go, and then we'll start putting the walls in. And then we'll just break the scaffolding out. Like that. There we go. Allen. Something like that. That's the last little bit of the bottom. I think I have to bust a bunch of scaffolding even just to get my wall in place. I don't think it's gonna fit unless I do. Try the 6. Nope. There will be a gap there. Not happy about that one either. Not lagged out. It's just so close to my bed. Let's just get through the night. It's like they intentionally want you to use up your piece count. All right, that is. Let's just take a look underneath. Yes, that is the full underneath all done now. Yeah, you can't see any of the balloons from underneath, so that's what I'm looking for. Yeah, brilliant. Okay. That's my sandstone mats. All right, so now I need half walls. So I'll just select a bunch here, get them into my quick menu. All right, and yeah, I can see already like my scaffolding is going to be in the way. So maybe we can do two at once. Maybe I can knock out scaffolding and put in the wall that I want at the same time. Look at that lag, huh? It's crazy. Look at everything move around when I do this, huh? Let me just take a look. So I've got, oh yeah, that's big enough gap that nothing, I need to have a big enough gap between this little pillar here and this wall that there's no interference. And it was 3 studs gap on the outside, so this should be more than enough on the inside, I'm hoping. And I'm still going to leave quite a bit of gap between the bottom here and here. I mean, you'll definitely be able to look in and see the balloons, but at least it's not too terribly bad. That one's way too big. There are definitely going to be some gaps on this inside as well, I think. Yeah, I'm going to have these pieces that are just not going to work. Okay. Let's remove some of these pieces here. I worry every time I snap anything that I'm just going to hear this pop and the whole world I'm crashing apart here. See it like the main dynamic structure like settles every time I clip something together. Look at it. It moves every time I clip something. Freaks me out. I should be all right on piece count then too, because every time I'm doing this, I'm busting out one more of the scaffolding, which is lowering my piece count a little bit as well. Let's try the 12. I don't know if I got enough room for a 12 in there or not. Yeah, not enough room. Yeah, there'll be a bit of a gap there. So look too bad. I kind of like that it's actually got a bit of a staggered look to it. I think that looks all right. Definitely, when you get from up above, you can actually see the balloons down in there, but there's not much I'm going to be able to do about that. I guess I could put more flooring in there, but I don't think I'm going to. I could fill in these gaps with... Let me just take a look at something. I'm just going to see. What if I took like that and stuck it? Yeah, maybe I might do that in some of these spots that really stick out. But this is all just aesthetics now, so I don't really need it. Yeah, I might do that afterwards. Right now, yeah, that doesn't look too bad. Then you can't see the balloons from up top. I can stick those in there. But let's get the wall in place first before I start pushing my scaffolding. But yeah, that covers it up so you don't see the balloons at all in there anymore. It doesn't look too terribly bad. These. Let me just make a note here. What have I got? I'm going to bust out this as well, but I want to leave an anchor point in there. Where's my notepad? This is the, what side is this? This is the south side. And the south side has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. 6 times 4 by 16s. Just because when I first set this in place, because I wanted my quadrants to be exactly where they needed to be, I put those in place from here. So I measured out, I figured out where the center of my tower was. I came out and I put these 4 protrusions out, and I put this piece, I mean, it's turned now, but the piece that was in there originally, or not, sorry, not turned, but like the track, you can't even see it here. Yeah, this track underneath there is exactly another 16 by 4 piece away. So I used that to make sure that everything was the exact same spot before I put in my rotating circle. So that's why I just wanted to mark down that I've got how many spaces out from there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and that's after the base. Okay. That way, if I do have to ever fix anything, I'll know what I did originally plan. Because I'm going to go back and I'm going to remove from here as well. Will fit in there or not. Oh, yeah, just. All right, one of the 4 arms is now gone. quarter of the way around. Actually get a 16. That's good. Oh, he's up there. That's why. Got to move my launch pads. My launch pads from down below. I'm going to have to put them differently so these guys stop landing on top of my structure. That's 2 rollers and 2 wolves so far. Oh, blew a hole in my stuff. Look at that. How laggy that is, huh? Can I get you off my thing? Go off. Oh, look at the lag. Oh, yeah, and as soon as it gets away, look how fast it goes, huh? All right, where's that antenna? Let's put that back in place. I think that's under these ones, yeah. I need that meat, so let's just do that. Yeah, I know, huh? That's the second wolf I've had up there and 1 roller so far. But it's because I got it over here. I've got this stupid launch pad right down there, and it's close enough that it just comes up here and they land. There was a bone wolf the other night or skeleton wolf that kept bouncing off it, and he bounced enough times he actually killed himself uh, from all the jumping. That's the best way to kill them, I think, is just have them continuing to jump until they jump to their own death. There, gap. Makes me think it might be a good way to actually make a trap for them. You put a bunch of jump pads down with some sort of they launch up, they deflect off something into a cage of some sort, and you may be able to just attract enough wolves and rollers onto your jump pads that they just come up and you just pick them off. Maybe I'll have to work on something like that in the future. Trap one. All these levels I'm getting. I need these levels after the update today. Lag out? What's going on? Why is it not clipping in place? Why are you not clipping in place? Oh, there we go. So I did some prototypes last night on what I want my center tower to look like. It's really getting difficult to clip into place now. Why is it not clipping in? Yeah, I do like it when they bounce around like that. Yeah, I did a prototype for what I want up there in my creative world just to see what it's going to look like. We'll have to see how much, because that'll probably be where my actual village ends up being, not out here. I don't know if I can get anything to clip in there. It just doesn't want to. I guess we're going to leave a gap there because it doesn't want to clip in. But yeah, I did the prototype to see what it might look like, because I don't think putting a village out on this big rotating thing is the best idea. Plus, I think it's too wide for the village bounds are not going to be able to come out this wide anyways. And yeah, it should look pretty good. And then I was going to do like a 3-story floating. I tried to make it rotate yesterday, but the weight of it on the swivels is too much. So, let me count this side. This is the west side. It had 6 after the. It's also the same. Let's go bust these out. It's looking better all the time, huh? And that bounce freaks me out. It's a little tighter on this side. Must have pushed away from the wall. It's still got enough gap, though, I think. Still like 1, 2, 3, 3 or 4 at least. Oh, now I've lagged out in here. Right. Doesn't want to clip. almost 3/4 of the way around. Small one. Yeah, see, there's more wolves coming from my jump pad there. Yeah, if you baited it with some meat as well, so they came in there. Fit. Try 16. I don't know if it'll fit there or not. I'm gonna go to Kaboom's punch, don't pick here. Yeah, that's exactly why. Right. Not quite enough room. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 7 on this one. This is on the north side. This. Nope. Nope, I don't want that to happen. Oh, I know that's right. Some of the stuff wouldn't stick in the. I don't know why, but for some reason, some of the pieces wouldn't stick into that rock formation. That's why I had this little extra pillar holding things up underneath. Come on, what's going on here? Flag out. Fit 16. Okay, let's see if I can do this very carefully. And got it. I didn't break anything. almost done. We'll do a test and see. Hopefully that didn't restrict any of the ability to turn. Why didn't it stick? I don't like when I have to do that. I'll try it. If it doesn't, then I'll. Okay, let me just move that over once the gap is equal on both sides then. One space gap there. Just go clean this up before I forget about it. Move the garbage around. Almost. Lagged again. I think that's gonna be the story of this build. It's just gonna have a lot of lag. I don't think I'm ever gonna get away from it too much complexity. Will fit in there, but let's give it a shot. Too small. All right. Oh, so close. So close. Try a 16 and see if it fits. Yeah, it does. Bounce up here. Clean up the last of this support. Okay, this is the east side. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 7 on this side as well. I cannot break this one until the very end though, because it is the one that's holding up my scaffolding here. So sleep for the night, and then we'll finish off those last few pieces, and then that should be it completely broken free. I mean, it's already completely broken free, but at least it'll definitely look completely broken free. Yeah, it does not look attached at all pretty much anymore once that one's gone. Let's stick this one over on this side. Oh, just not enough for it, of course. And I think that's pretty small as well. I don't think the 8's going to fit in there. Nope. And one last 16 piece should finish it off. Yep. I'll put it there. All right. How much should I say? 1, 2, that's 7 as well on the east. All right. So there's a few little gaps in there, but I am not too worried about the little gaps. So let's do some flyovers first, and then we'll do a rotation test just to see if it rotates. All right. It is completely broken free. It is floating in the middle of the sky. Yeah, that's exactly how I wanted it to look. Brilliant. It's fairly clean from underneath. Yeah, I got just enough endurance to make it down without falling to my death. Perfect. All right, let's go do a rotation test and make sure that it rotates. All right. Hopefully it still rotates. Yeah, thank you, Claire Bear. Yeah, it's looking exactly how I was hoping it would look. Now, please rotate. And it's still rotating. All right. So I didn't affect anything by doing that. Does it rotate the other way? That is perfect. It is rotating. It is doing exactly what I wanted. I think I'm going to do what I said there before. I think I'm going to put in these little corner pieces. Now I have no scaffolding. It's going to be a bit more finicky, but I think I want to try and put in. Oh, maybe I can't put them in. Maybe I can. Maybe I can't. Nope, there it goes. Just want to make sure. Yeah, that's a fair decent gap. I don't want to pop this whole thing apart. Just in a few of these larger gaps, I'll put in these corner pieces just to cover up the balloons a bit. see myself falling off at least once doing this. That one. That says it's okay. Let's just go into here. Won't take very many. I think most of the thing had decent coverage. It's just these little spots where it's stuck in a bit more. Why is it not clipping on there? That's where I want it. Yeah, just these spots that look really bad. Oh, not really bad, but show more balloons than I would like to see. This one. Like that. What's hitting there? Oh, there you go. Oh, it's lagged out here. Oh no, it actually popped in place. A lag, you know, I can't tell if you're clipping in or you didn't clip in, and right there. Let's launch up to the other side. That's half done. Oh, yeah, there's the fall off. Okay, I knew it was going to happen at least once. Clipping in or not clipping in? Oh, I'm in the way. All right, one more there. Yeah, like when I look at the left side, you can't really see the balloons anymore. It hides them enough. Where the right side I haven't done, you can still see them a bit. So it works pretty good, actually. Bring up that last little bit of visible balloons. Wish they would come up with a a device that allows you to levitate objects without it being balloons. Something that's like a anti-gravity generator or something that's less visible, a little bit more discreet. It would be so nice to have something that had the same power as the big balloons, but just a small size so it could fit in nicely without having to go through all this hassle of trying to cover everything up underneath. Okay, let me just mark that. Sweet for a second. That one. Missed it. I think this might be the last one. Yeah, that's it. Okay. All right, I think it is completely done. Let's just go sit up on here for a second and see what it looks like up above. I think I got a fair amount of detail on the roof. I really like that. The way it looks. I'm gonna have to definitely have to build some additions. I want to put like not like a drawbridge, but some sort of an extending plank that goes out as if it's the way to get on, but still, and I might have to make it a drawbridge just so it still gives that the illusion of floating without being attached to anything, which is what I'm really trying to go for. And I'll have to build out some launch pads in such a way that it allows me kind of to launch almost right into it. Yeah, that's definitely looking good. All right, I think that's it for what I'm going to do on this build today, but let me just oh, I'm out of energy. Let me I'll show you what I'll back out and I'll go to my creative world. Let me take a couple more flyovers just for the cinematic look of it all, and then I'll take you over to my creative world where I built my design for my top little piece here. I'll show you what that's going to look like. Get rid of this pointer thing. Yeah, look at that. That's fantastic. And if I got piece count, I'm going to build some sort of a structure around the tower itself, maybe some stairs and such going up. I did that once in my survival before they came out with Expert. Oh yeah, that's looking dynamite. Exactly like I wanted it. Good look. All right, let me just get back up there, and then I will back out, and I'll go to my creative world, and we can take a look and see what I've got in mind for the top little piece. I just played around a bit yesterday, just seeing what I could do. I really wanted it to rotate as well, but on swivels, not nearly as complex a rotation. So I floated a piece and anchored it there, and I put a couple swivels on it. But the swivels can't take that much weight. And by the time I got into my second story, it was it was a disaster. Hey, thanks, Claire, bro. That's actually saying a lot because there's some incredibly impressive builders that do some amazing things. So that means a lot, huh? Yeah, I've been putting this one off for a while. I mocked it up here where we're going months ago, and I just never got around to actually building the thing. Yeah, but it totally worked out as good, if not better, than I was expecting it to be. I'm really glad I didn't hit the piece count. And today's day 2 of the Simpsons update, so we should get a few more decor items. I think we don't get the house until the very end, though, unfortunately. I was hoping we get the house earlier. So, for those of you who hadn't seen before, this is my mock-up of where I tested and tried everything. I'd modeled a bunch of how I wanted the tire system to look here, and then I built it out, just tested some. It's definitely not as complete. And then yesterday, this is kind of what I mocked out yesterday. I floated a piece. There's one piece inside that I floated, and then I attached everything to it. So it is solid and fixed. I put a little bit of decor on it, and I turned this bottom upside down just to give it, I want it to actually be more like a tapered look. So I might actually, when it comes to the final build, I might actually taper it down more. So it's like, instead of just one half wall section, I might put another half wall section a little farther out, kind of like, show you what I mean. I might put like a section of half wall somewhere out here, so it looks more tapered, and in this inside section, drop that down onto the bottom. So you would do like a half wall step down here, and another half wall step down in the center, and each one would have a little bit of skirting where I could put on some of these ornaments and things. And then I built like a 3-story thing. And this, there, I actually put a village square up on top as well. So this is now technically a village. And then the idea being that I could have my beds for my villagers in this section, and then I'll have my workshop up in this section and in this section. Now, it's not going to be a massive village. There's not a lot of floor space in it, but it would give something to kind of top off that tower that I have there. And I might do the same kind of an idea on the top as well. I might take some of these half walls and pop them up so it looks a little bit taller as well in the center. But that's kind of the idea of what I want the other one to look like. And it kind of looks like a hangar bay as well, but then I can have the villagers. And I did have a villager, like as soon as I put the village square in there, I did have a villager up here with me. But then once he fell off, he never came back. So actually, let me see if I can let me put it on bed. Just see if we can get some, if there's any villager around here. Maybe they didn't even come back today. Any villagers? No villagers today. But yeah, I was testing to see if I can actually get villagers to interact with a floating, levitating village. But that's the idea of what I'll do in the centerpiece. And then if that works out all right, then I'll build some stairs and stuff up the side of the tower if I still have piece count left at that point, just so you can get up from the ground without using jump pads. Of course, I probably never do that, but it's more just for the visuals. So, but I think that is it for today. Yeah, thanks, Claire. That's exactly what I'm thinking. Like it would just complement that circular piece if I had that floating way up in the air above it. I think it'll look really good as well. So I think that's it for today. I might take a day or two off before I stream the build on this one here. But I'll be sure to stream when I do this as well, but I might take a day or two and take a bit of a break from it. Thank you very much, Wounded Paws. Thank you, everybody else, for tuning in again today, and we will see you the next time that I stream the top piece build. Thanks a lot.